All right, y'all, TGIF, and hey, welcome to Trick Supply. We are live from Las Vegas, Sunset Road. Is that where we are? 2510 East Sunset Road, Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you for joining us today, spending some of your time and energy as we take a look at some of the latest happenings from our magic shop, some of the new stuff. I got some fun old stuff to look at, and today we're even going to look at some of the classic practical jokes that we have in the shop. We're always doing magic every week. Thought today we'd take a look at some of the fun stuff in the store. Let me go ahead and just say hello to the people who care enough to show up here at the beginning. What's up, Mike? Good to see you, Nick. Hello. Scott Link. All the regs are in the house. Robert Vallon, you made it. Are you at SETX? He's live from SETX. I don't know. That's over my head. On the Box is back for another round. What's up, bro? Good to see you again. And Nick, I am not going to disappoint you today. Nick is here for the big sponge ball. This is a good segue for me. Look what I have on my desk, actually. It's for contrast. I thought we'd introduce you to the little sponge ball. This is my little sponge ball holder. Just for contrast, this is a 1.5-inch sponge ball. If you don't care for the balls, that's cool. You use the algorithm appeasement generator, then you can use the hearts as well. Yes, that's right. It's a little Goshman sponge heart. And if you're not aware, that is your cue to like the stream. It's my subliminal algorithm influence. You will like this stream. It's easy to hit the like button. That's all I really ask of you. If you could share the video with a friend, that would be cool. If you haven't subscribed to the stream yet, well, why not? I'm here for you, trying to make your magic world a better place to live every day, or at least every Friday. So Dragotier Nick posted it. Before we demonstrate the sponge balls, it is important to make the illusion of clumsiness. An illusion I'm relatively good at. So prior to this week, I've never seen a 6-inch sponge ball before. Murphy's are pumping out the sponges from over there in California, or wherever they get the sponges from. Let's see what I got. We might need the sponge lid. I should mention this prop here, designed to use fire. Let me get a plug in. That's our fire to silk cabinet. Like most things you'll see me demonstrate today, I have linked them up in the description of the video, or you could just go to Tricksupply and search around. But that sponge heart production, you could do it with fire. You light a fire, there's the thing. I did a short on it. You might have seen the short. This also intended for fire. This is the classic dove pan prop, but look what we're going to do today. We're going to segue from that little guy into the big guy. And now we know what a 6-inch sponge ball looks like. It's about the size of my noggin. It's the world's biggest clown nose. Nick was wondering, how squishy is it? You could hide it in a hand, technically, and then produce that thing. But I'm thinking also you might want to invest in something like the world's largest phantom tube, and you could produce it from this as well. That's right. We still have this thing. Hey, magic collectors, we're here for you. If you're looking for a fun piece of apparatus, the world's largest phantom tube. But I digress. So yeah, 6-inch sponge ball. That's what it looks like. That's how squishy it is. It's intermediate, super soft sponge. My real recommendation would be just to come on down to Trick Supply. Come see me in the shop and feel it for yourself. I'm here noon to 6, 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday. Let me say thank you to everyone that's been in this week. It's been quite a fun couple days to see some of the local magi. Yesterday we had Nick Defott and Frodo Santini in the shop. If you're on our Facebook or social media, you'll see some pictures of, the luminaries that shop at Trick Supply. Boy, Nick Defott, let me tell you about Nick. Not only is he a great performer, one of the funniest comedy magicians working, but at a young age of, I don't think he's even 30 yet, and this young man possesses more magic knowledge than just about anyone I've had the pleasure of making an acquaintance. So if you're ever around Nick Defott, you want to talk shop, you're in good company. And while I'm talking about Nick, if you haven't got his book Offbeat, we have a few copies of that left, 4 or 5 of them left in the warehouse. My understanding is they are hard to find. So yeah, if you're in Vegas, come on down. If you're visiting Vegas, I'm going to wait here for you. Here's a question that I feel I'm going to ignore David's comment. What's up, Mr. Miller? Always nice to see your fun in the chat. So we had Popstickle in this week. I sold the one I had yesterday in the shop. It's something we will keep stocking. And while I'm talking about things that came in this week and went right out the door, this is maybe a good place to segue into a hot new product, the Daniel Garcia's release One Card. And I'm just going to skedaddle over here to our Tricksupply website. And let's see, I guess I could share this with you, and you guys could see what I'm doing too. Here we are at tricksupply.com, looking for the hot new magic trick, One Card. There it is by Daniel Garcia. So this effect is essentially, the presentation he has is a freely named card appears inside a paper clipped envelope. World, you'll realize this release is in fact a card indexing system. So this release is a clever way to conceal 16 outs upon your person. Generally, this thing would be held in a pocket. It's not the most revealing short video. Let's take a look at a few of the pictures here. So, okay, so like there's the index. It's kind of cool backstory on this thing. It was actually developed by a Nike designer, and it's produced with what does it say here? RF welded 420D nylon construction. It's actually designed to withstand nuclear blasts, so that's a plus. I took the link off the screen. Anyway, One Card, Daniel Garcia. Let me tell you this. If you want an index, you want something that's easily accessible, designed by one of the most creative magicians working today, go look at One Card. I did a bad job of sharing the screen, but it's Daniel Garcia. You know you want it. Figure this. While we're looking at the new stuff, and before I get there, let me say hello to the tardy students. Gary will need a note from the principal. Salutations, sir. How you doing? Oh, Jim picked up the, oh yeah, Jim what's up, bro? Good to see you. Jim got the One Card, unsolicited testimony, and thanks for shopping here as well. Something to go along with those 52 on One Cards you got. And thanks for tuning in, Jim. Good to see you, local magician in the chat. So let me expound on what One Card is just a little bit. An index is part of it. In addition to that, you get an hour of teaching from Daniel Garcia. And in this teaching, he will describe his envelope, which is just as really valuable. It's a system for having an obvious playing card in a small envelope. So after your spectator names a card, you open the envelope and dump the card out of it into their hand. So this envelope that Garcia has developed teaches you how to make that as well. And this thing has widespread applications, as does the index system. It's much more than just any named playing card. In fact, I think a playing card is a mundane effect to use for a 16 out index. Get it, look at Daniel's tutorial and enlighten yourself about some of the possibilities. And for today, that's all I have to say about One Card. If we had more, I would have bought one already. We have more on. You can order it today. We'll ship it to you next week. We'll have more in the store next week. And if you want to get one here, like I do, come shop with me next week. All right. I want to talk about this thing. Probably the hottest, at least for social media use. And, y'all know I'm a social media guy. This is Quantum Aperture by Calen Morelli. And let me rewind just a little bit. Perfectly great live trick. Story time. My first week in Las Vegas at the Wonder Ground, the variety magic show produced by Will Bradshaw. First week there, I had the pleasure of enjoying some table side magic by no less than Jeff McBride. And Jeff chose to perform this trick. So he was doing walk around and doing quantum aperture. And well, I could talk about it or we could just look at it. So here is Calen Morelli's hot new release, Quantum Aperture. Oh, good. Internet noids. Yay. All right, so here we have quantum aperture playing card with the hole on it. You put the playing card on a surface, and then you're able to move the hole around the surface and then back to where it started, where it turns back into a hole again. We have conflicting reports on whether or not this would be deceptive. You know what I'm going to do here is encourage everyone to have the frame of mind about watching a magic trick that's not on the internet, where you can hit the rewind button and have some, little more microscopic look at how something might work. As usual, magic is designed to be performed in the wild. And while I am the poster boy for doing magic online and, we are broadcasting online and yada, yada, magic is a live performance art. And when you perform these effects with a good presentation, your audience won't even be thinking about the secret. And if they are, I'd suggest you're doing it wrong. So, there's a word from the wise about, spectators figuring out secrets. As far as the exposing goes, I did hear someone expose this trick on the internet. Those guys are idiots and thieves, and shame on you. And also this, it is irrelevant to your live performance. The people that watch these short form exposure clips, they'll forget about them 5 minutes later. And if you're doing your job well as a magician and performing well, they won't care about the secret. And that's all I have to say about that. I do have something more to say about the Calen Morelli quantum aperture. I have heard from a few people that maybe they think this item is a little overpriced at $60. And I would like to just spend a minute and talk about, what it takes to be a high-level creative magician who has devoted their time and energy to releasing products for the magic community. And let me be blunt, is that it's a hard road to hoe. And there's not a lot of money to be made. And if you are one of the highest level creators, as is Calen Morelli, and if you haven't put Calen on your radar for his social media, go Google Calen and see some of the creative output that he's released through the years. You're probably familiar with Dress Code, the color changing t-shirt, or I know pros use that across the globe. Tell you, if you got some of his early releases, like I think Function 9 was released by Penguin 15 years ago, chock full of killer ideas. Point being, if you're one of these people who creates on a high level and would like to, have incentives to keep doing this, well, quite bluntly, you need to charge a premium price point. And the people that choose to shop with you will get these premium products. And if you're on Calen Morelli's in his universe, you'll have access to these things before the populace gets them, before the social media, exposing happens. And in general, we should be supportive of the higher artists that produce the quality props. I do believe that Calen Morelli is one of those gentlemen, and I do believe that if you choose to perform quantum aperture, it is worth the asking price. If you buy it and don't perform it, well, you wasted a lot of money. It's up to you. I'm looking at Nick's comment. Nick is he's busy in the chat today. This is a thing for sure. As magicians, we have magician's brain, and sometimes we get cloudy about what the audience perceives and what our job is to deliver to them. Good storytelling with good presentation, proper misdirection, effective, pocket management, and so on. And once we do that job right, everyone wins. But yeah, sometimes we're just magic nerds and magic brain, and we don't always think about the big picture. All right, let's move on from quantum aperture. I'm giving it a thumbs up. I'm going to get one, and if you think you should, you'll probably be happy about doing the same. I have one more new release I want to take a peek at, and I really haven't even looked at the trailer for this, so we'll be looking at this together as we talk about Patrick Kun's Inflation. Patrick Kun. Patrick, I love your magic. He makes some killer stuff. Patrick's been in the game. He's one of the high-level thinkers that's been around for, I don't know, long time. And this is his latest release, Inflation. Let's see what it looks like.
This effect was originally designed back in 2016 for a TV show. As we all know, magic on TV is situational. It's often designed to tell stories and relate to people's daily routine. Watch. 1, 2. Imagine this, you take a single bill and it visually multiplies into a whole stack of them. It literally looks like money growing out of your hands. After years of developing, Inflation has now been improved with a brand new system for easy handling and of course maximum impact. It is now super practical and can be performed anywhere, anytime. Look, you could have cut to any cards, you see, it would have been a different choice. The 2 of diamonds and the 8 of clubs.
How?
Exactly as I planned. I wrote the exact amount on the check. $328. In fact, if I could do real magic, I mean, people don't really use check these days. What if I can actually magically turn this to something else, more like cash? That's 100, 200, that's $300. That's 5, 10, 15, 20 for 2, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the exact amount. What you receive is a fully customized device that can hold up to 30 bills of any currency. Specially printed gimmicks are also provided in order to adapt the effect in many situations. I'll teach you various handling and ideas so that you can be ready at all times to answer the question, can you make money appear?
Inflation by one of the highest level thinkers of the modern magic era. I think Patrick showed this much of it in the trailer, so I can show this much of it. Essentially, what you're buying here is a holdout system for multiple bills. I think he said 30 in the routine. And then, of course, you get Patrick's creative thinking along these lines as well, how to integrate this bill production into a routine. It is worth noting, definitely, that part of this package includes Breach 2.0, I believe, which is his effect where he splits a high denomination bill into 2 smaller denominations, like a 20 into 2 10s or a $2 bill into 2 1s. Those go back together, and that's a prefatory effect to all of the bills appearing. This trick is a $20 value, so you might spend $70 on inflation, but you get an instant $20 rebate by having that trick as part of the package. And then the inflation principle brings it all home. If you've wanted to produce a handful of money from apparently nowhere or to expand your cash as is, that's going to get the job done. Patrick Kun's Inflation. And could spend a few more minutes talking about this. Turns out I still got a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to keep rolling. My attention, as always, is on the chat. And if you would like to know a little more or have a question about anything that I'm showcasing today, for example, if you need to know that the jumbo phantom tube is about $250, just ask me a question and I should see the words and I'll get back to you. All right, I've got one more video to play, but I'm going to save that for maybe the end here. I actually have one of the first social media videos that I ever produced. And I'm curious when the chat might think that could or would have been, like how long has Doug Kahn been making short form magic content for magic shops on the internet? Has it been 3 or 4 years or 5 years? Submit your commentary in the chat. We'll see if anybody gets close as we segue onto our next planned event. And guess what we're looking at today? Dun, 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 in this Tenyo box, which has nothing to do with Tenyo. I got about 8 or 10 of our practical jokes here. If you go to Tricksupply, you'll find we have a jokes and pranks category. And today I'm picking items and flushing out what'll be a pegboard with all the jokes available for our clients, customers, and joke seekers. Thought I might give you a peek at a few of them today. Let's not dilly-dally. Here's the galley. First and foremost, we have the classic disappearing ink, and I pulled this one off the inventory and into the shop because it comes with the pen. I can't imagine a better way to do the disappearing ink than with a pen that apparently squirts the ink out. Yeah, need chattering teeth? We got you. Chattering teeth. There's actually some good magic tricks that you can do with the chattering teeth. This might be the most cruel of all the practical jokes. The no tear toilet paper. That's just wrong. That is just wrong. Speaking of flatulence humor, here we have a few whoopee cushions in the back. This one is of interest because it refills itself. I got to get it out of this bag. You squeeze the thing down, then it'll refill itself. The refillable whoopee cushion. Are we having fun yet with the jokes? Let's see what else I got in here. Oh, more toilet humor. You can't go wrong with the toilet jokes. How about the exploding toilet? That's a little bang gag. So when someone lifts the seat, bang, your toilet explodes. That's a good time. If you're looking for noisemakers, we got a few of those as well. You got the classic hand buzzer. You go shake someone's hand. You give them the Raz. Neck crackers. These are actually one of the more popular items, and you can do the old, cracking the neck gag. It's just a little plastic thing, makes noise in the palm of your hand, and this is a good one too. How about the watch winder? This might be fun to use. This is a watch winder if you've never seen one. A little metal device that makes grinding sounds. Might be fun to wind your Apple Watch. Lots of gags you can do with the watch winder. That's one of the jokes. And let's wrap this up with these two guys. We got the bill snatcher and then the slush powder, which really, this is a good, both of these are good magic props. You can do great stuff with the slush powder or the bill snatcher. If you want the slush powder for magic applications, I'm going to suggest you buy a bigger quantity. We have some like 2-ounce jars of this stuff where you can do repeated performances. That little guy's like, it's good to test it out, but maybe a little small. So that is literally the tip of the iceberg, as is most of the stuff you see me do here today. We have, well, tens of thousands of items in the back, and picking just 10 jokes to share with you today was easier said than done. If you're into practical jokes and gags, I did put the link to that category description in this video as well. And you can go look at that as well as all of the stuff on the Tricksupply inventory. That's right. We're easy to find, just 4 miles from the Vegas sign. It's walkable in the fall, but this time of year, you probably can't walk half a mile before you melt. We're entering the 100 degrees this time of year. Put the bang gag in a hollow deck of cards from the bang gun. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, we got bang guns. We got you. Do we have any tables available? We do have a few tables here. There's a couple around, but nothing I can jump right out and show you at this moment. We have some great production tables. I got a couple in the shop that are like Harbin style spring loaders. Yeah, hunt around the site, you'll find some other ones. So yeah, we answered that question. It is not walkable. It is busable. That's how I got here for the first month I was in Las Vegas. You can take the Sunset bus, and at Sunset and Eastern, you'll be right here. But if you're on the Las Vegas Strip, it's a few miles away. It might cost you $20 to Uber. But look, if you're looking to spend a nice portion, a couple $100, you want to drop a fat amount, I might come pick you up if I got the time and energy that day. Let me know. Shoot me a DM. Maybe you get limo service from Doug Kun. Adonis wants to know if I bust out here. No, and at this point, I probably won't until the fall. Simply put, it's too hot. It's also very windy in Las Vegas. I didn't know that, but that's going to be the real issue. And Jim wants to know if we have any vests. I don't think we have vests. Nick, I'd come get you. I'd drive to Oklahoma and get you. You're in Arkansas, though, so maybe I'd have to drive there. Sorry, I get my states confused. All right, we did jokes. We did tricks. We got new stuff. Now we're going to wrap up with old stuff, but first I got to do the educational material. And let's take a look at some of the recommendations I have for you today along those lines. Oh, I got some good ones here. First, I got a stack of DVDs. I'm not going to spend all day on these because I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but they are good values. And if you still intake knowledge through these archaic methods, you'll be happy to get any of these. Look, we have Double Take for only $9.99. This is Greg Wilson's dissertation on the double lift and more. So if you want to get your double lift in shape, this is an easy recommendation. It's on sale for $10 right now. So maybe buy it this week. I don't know how long we keep things on sale. But in addition to the double lift, you get the routines, and he has some weird ones on there. Like years ago, this is where I learned Phoenix Aces. He's got the 4-card trick. That's a banger. I think Jumping Gemini is on here. Double Take by Greg Wilson. It's one of his first releases, and it's a banger. This one has me intrigued. This is a product I was putting on the shelves yesterday. As I was putting it up, I realized we have this on sale as well. Originally like a $60 project. It's 3 DVDs with Simon Lovell, who is an excellent card technician. And on this series, you'll learn all the moves you'll need to cheat your friends out of money at the card table, because that's what we advocate in Las Vegas. The shuffles, the cuts, what's on here is his second deal. Simon Lovell has one of the best push-off second deals you'll ever see, or not see, as the case might be. Some bonus material, going to see some gambling props and stuff like that, and then some routines on how to present this material. Only $20. If you want to learn some gambling sleights, this is an easy recommendation. And then lastly, but not least, we'll talk about Chris's book lastly. I just grabbed a couple titles from our $5 bin. So if you come into Tricksupply, we have a bin of DVDs that are $5. If you come in here today, you might get a volume of the Encyclopedia of Coin Sleights. You might take home a session with Ed Marlowe. Let's go. Old school Ed Marlowe. And I haven't really heard or seen anything about Doug Brewer's Get Bent, but I know Brewer is just a worker. He knows what he's doing. And this is a series of ideas for folded card revelations. So there's some old school DVD recommendations. And we'll end this educational section with the recommendation, one of my all-time favorite books. Look what's in the shop. Chris Kinner's Out of Control, or Totally Out of Control, as the case might be. I ordered this book pre-sale when it was released in, I think, the late 90s. I can't remember the exact date. Over the last 20 years, this book has been top shelf for me. It is one of my all-time favorite volumes. It's one of the most entertaining books that you'll ever read. this section is printed upside down. You turn the book over halfway through, and then the other half is printed right side up, or maybe the other side's upside down. Well illustrated, an entertaining read. There's humor throughout the book, and the illustrations from, I think Homer Leewag did the illustrations, leave nothing to be desired. Here we're looking at Chris's cloth and pence. Maybe you can just screenshot all the pages here and learn the material that way. I thought I might take a swing at doing one of my favorite routines from Out of Control. And as I say those words, I could do 5 or 10 routines because this book influenced me that much. But I'm going to show you something that's not card, not coin. And yeah, it is a great book. I'll get back to some questions here in just a second. Let me demonstrate this item with the variable tension gripper. It's the 5-fingered pentagram of doom. We'll also be using the large, I think they call these file bands. And this is, you know what this one is? It's a number 19 Joe Rindflesh Electrolux band, which works pretty well with this routine. Keep your eye on the white one. I'm going to tap it to the big guy at the bottom and see if we can just get it to pass right through. An illusion of solid through solid, like a cheap pair of linking rings. And that's a pretty good illusion. It's not really happening, but it looks good. As Harry would say, it's like economic recovery. You want these apart, you just give it a break, and then L Restoro, bringing the illusion back to where we started. 2 solid rubber bands, and that is all it takes to perform the missing link illusion, just one of many great sleight of hand routines in Out of Control. Now, one last thing about this volume. This was published with the MME edition, so the Supreme MME. This stands for Magic Man Examiner, which is the zine that Chris and Homer published back even before the book was released. 4 volumes of cutting edge material. And this is where I think Three Fly might have been first published here before it was released to the Magic community. This would be an example of what the zine looks like. It's very much the flavor of the book, maybe even more so. Here's Homer Leewag's wonderful Flash Rice. That's another influential piece in my world. And I could ramble endlessly about Out of Control. If I haven't convinced you to get it yet, well, maybe I'll talk about it more again and convince you next time. All right, I got distracted here by also Chris. If you're happening to be watching this, thank you for the wonderful tour of David Copperfield's museum. What? That's right. Chris is David Copperfield's right-hand man, and he handles like a lot of business for David here, including doing part of the David Copperfield Museum tour. So yeah, if you get a chance to see that, you'll see Chris Kinner. Some unsolicited testimony. You don't have to hear it from me. Zingineer double take is worth its weight in gold. Mike wants to know this. Is the store stock all new, or do we handle used items? We do handle used items. Estate sales are something that we do. We also tend to pick up older Magic businesses, and that's going to segue us into the last item that we're going to look at today. That's right. We have old collectibles. And today, speaking of old collectibles, I feel like I'm that half the time. Doug Kahn is an old collectible. Let's talk about a company that I got familiar with in the early 2000s. This company, Abra for Magic. And in the early days of the internet, this company was one of the cutting edge magic, magic distributors or websites, I guess is the word I'm looking for. They were proactive enough to want to put demonstration videos of their magic products online in the early 2000s. And I can't recall how I had this conversation with this company, but to make a long story short, in 2003, I made an arrangement with this company to produce several short form videos for them. And one of the videos that I produced is for a trick known as the ghostly scarf. Well, let's fast forward about 20 years later, where I'm now at Tricksupply. And as mentioned, we do pick up other companies' inventory. And well, about a month ago, we picked up the inventory for Abra for Magic. In this inventory are some items that I made the demos for. And hey, let's take a look at one of them today. This might hurt me to share, but let's take a blast from the past and look at the ghostly scarf, Doug Kahn, 23 years ago.
Our new ghostly scarf is the only rising scarf with a design that's custom made for this effect. It's perfect for Halloween or spirit presentations. It's been said the cloth comes from garments of the lost Zimbabwe headhunters. The larger skulls represent the tribesmen and the smaller ones their victims. In fact, it's believed their spirits live within and they're always trying to escape. Watch. They say the soul is invisible to the naked eye. Well, the ghostly scarf allows you to witness what can't be seen. It's a phenomenal pocket trick that resets instantly and is so easy you'll be fooling your friends minutes after you get it. And as with all UMSI products, it features attractive packaging and comes in a resealable bag ready to perform.
We got this. We got this. Hang with me. All right. Whew. The ghostly scarf. I should mention that Mr. Bocor, the gentleman who I had the honor of doing some business with, he's the one that wrote the scripts. So those scripts were not from me, but from him. And indeed, these are maybe officially imbued by the souls of the voodoo practitioners from Zimbabwe. That might not be how I'd go about it now. I've been thinking about this prop, this ghostly scarf, which is essentially a version of, when I was a kid, it was known as Glorpy or Hiram, the haunted Hank. This is a self-contained illusion to animate a cloth, a handkerchief. And I mentioned Nick DeFod earlier. He was in yesterday and we were talking about this. He has a great handling for making this thing animate. You'll have to see Nick to see his version. But we were talking about ways to present this trick and how it might be a little more effective tying it into other pieces. I was thinking it might be nice for spirit slates, and you could use like a set of locking spirit slates, put them underneath the handkerchief, and it comes to life. Another one that came to mind is the voodoo doll, the voodoo doll that stands up in your hand. Not my favorite trick because you actually have pain every time you perform it, but animating the voodoo doll seems to work perfectly with this. But Nick reminded me of Eugene Berger's presentation. He used the out to lunch principle and then did spirit writing on a business card. So you have a spectator initial a business card, and then you put the business card inside the ghostly scarf. And now, you also would need like a little pencil, right? So you make your folds, your spectator has initialed the business card, you put it inside with like a little golf pencil. And now the inclination is that the golf pencil is coming to life and doing some spirit writing inside the scarf. And then when you open the scarf, the business card has writing on it. So these are a few ideas with the ghostly scarf. It's a blast from the past for me. It is a prop that I haven't handled, really since 2003. I took it out of the package a couple days ago to reacquaint myself with Hiram or Glorpy or the ghostly scarf, as we call it at Trick Supply. If you need one or want one for your repertoire, consider that Eugene Berger presentation or with the Spirit Slates, and we have them for you at tricksupply.com. Over the coming weeks, you'll see me add inventory to this to our product line from this company. Keep an eye on our What's New list on the website, and also if you are on our email list, you'll see those come in as well. And if you're not on our email list, well, it's pretty easy. Just order something from tricksupply.com. It's a great way to show support for the stream. And if you can't do that, well, it's easy enough just to hit the like button and share the video with a friend. Maybe that helps a lot as well. Nick, were you thinking about the Glorpy, the animated handkerchief? I'm here for you. Yeah, this one seems like it should be a gimme, like you can do it right away, but there is some finesse that goes into positioning the gimmick right, and then some extra finesses that can really make it seem as though it's coming to life, getting your other hand into play and using the gimmick in an extended position, like most routines that we think are self-working, they're really not. The bottom line is, good magic is hard. Chris Kavanaugh, good to see you always. That's for the rubber bands. Thank you. And I don't know if I'm going to take any kudos over Burger, but I'll take your appreciation for the Kenner effect. I'll give you a peek at these. I know, Nick, you were talking about Spirit Slates. Also, Nick DeFont was asking about Spirit Slates yesterday, but he was talking about big ones. For a mini set, this set is excellent. These are hermetically sealed. I did look at a set earlier that's not. So these guys are about the size of your hand. So they're called minis, but they're kind of like big enough to, be probably for parlor use. This is a locking slate. So it's got a magnetic locking system. And these guys, I did not link up in the description of this video, but if you want a set of these, they're $22. And if, you're working in intimate settings, I think you'll be happy to have this set in your universe. I was also happy to learn that the TCC slates that we have, which are a little bigger than this, are actually more excellent than I gave them credit to be originally. So if you're looking for a bigger set of slates, the TCC slates are worth your consideration. All right, wow, 45 minutes I've been at this. Geez Louise. Does anyone need to hear me blabber for 45 minutes? I think I'm about ready to wrap this up. Do we have any other questions, comments, constructive criticism, etc. in the chat? If not, I got about 10 minutes to go put our flag outside and get these doors open and hope that we can have another wonderful day like yesterday, where we had a dozen magicians in the shop yesterday coming in to spend their money, say hello, and check out the joint that's going on. I hope to see you here one day. We are close to the airport too. So we're about 4 miles from the strip. We're about 2 miles from the airport. So if you're flying in and or out of Las Vegas, the shop is super convenient to that as well. So here's a good question out of the box. This rope, is that left over from last week? So this rope is, I'm making professional nightmare sets. So we have some BTC rope, and really more BTC rope than we should have. So I'm taking it upon myself to handcraft some stage size Professor Nightmare ropes. And we'll be offering those here in the shop. I should have them in here and ready to roll by next week. This is a nice thick rope. I tuck the ends in, I glue it down so that's not going to unravel. This is something I used to do at conjure.com with the Murphy's rope, but boy, this TCC stuff, the BTC rope is really visible. And if you want a professional set of nightmare ropes, I'll have them available for you here. This will be an in-store item, and that's the name of that tune. That's what's happening with those ropes. Yeah. But also, that's what she said. So maybe it's not just for Nick. We went there. We got practical jokes and verbal jokes in today, and I think we got plenty of magic. If I had to pick one item today, let me point your way to Daniel Garcia's one card. It's a accessory, something we can branch out and do a lot of stuff with, and it's just a killer miracle. That gets my recommendation today. If you want to go on the cheap side, maybe pick up a ghostly scarf or get yourself SpongeBall production. Could also be silk or fire. All of the links are in the description of this video. And with that, my job is done here today. Thanks for hanging out with me live from Tricksupply. I see you all next Friday, 2 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be a ciao for now. I'm out. Where's the thing? There it is. Au revoir, y'all. Au revoir.